Hello everybody, welcome back for lesson 4. I have partnered with Dream Technology System to produce this cam tutorial. I hope that is going to benefit everybody. So we have completed the roughing and final facing for the last lesson. So eventually people will ask, could it be faster because it's already 9 minutes? So answer is yes. So how are we going to go about? Let us go through the step by step. Of course, we need to open the file and then I will show you how we go about to improve the cycle time. This is the standard interface. As we double click the ZW3D software, we can open the file as usual, and we click the file that we did on the last lesson and open it. So you can see we have to click the cam portion so that we can go into the cam directly. This is the file that we did on the last round. So you can see this is about 9.27 minutes. How we could improve it. So this is how we're going to go about. We're going to go through some duplication and duplicate certain features. And we need to rename the features, especially the profile. We need to do editing quite a lot. And we verified it, then we process the whole model. We can save the file. After that, then we can see how much time we save from the process that we implement. Of course, this is the theory portion, and later time you can see how I did it on the practical. So I will do a demonstration in the later time. So we start with this duplicate. So you can click the profile, right hand click, so we can duplicate it. We want to duplicate it because we want to separate the roughing and finishing the profile so that we can control the two paths to make it shorter. We duplicate, and there is a result come out which is profile 1 with the space and 1. We want to rename this file, we rename this profile so that we can pick correctly in the later time. So right click, rename it to become the profile final, profile 1 final. This is where we want to do it for the top facing number 2. We want to replace the profile by right click the profile on the top facing number 2. We want to remove it. So before you remove it, you can see the time is 4.94 minutes. We want to make sure that we remove it, then we will put it back, then the time is still the same. So we remove and then we add a new profile, which is the profile that we have created just now. We duplicate it from the original profile 1. We click OK. We got the result, and you can see that there's a punctuation mark come out, so mean to say that we need to calculate it. So we do a calculate, and then you can see the time is 4.94. Come back to the original, but we have swapped from profile 1 to become profile 1 final. So that already good for the final. So let us work on the roughing top facing 1, and then we continue with top facing 2 to improve both cycle time. This is how we go about. We want to show and hide the final operation, mean to say the top facing number 2, and we swap again. We want to work on the roughing, so top facing 1. So this is how we go about. We can see this one is already being grayed out, number 2 top final. So we are seeing this top facing 1 on top. We want to improve the cycle time, which is 4.33 minutes at the time being. How we go about, this is how we're going to do it. Of course, we need to modify the profile for the two path. So we work on the profile 1 by right click the edit, right click, and then we choose edit. There is an option on modify attribute. So how we're going to go about, you can see by the time we click this one, the profile, there's an orange color on the bottom. So we need to flip the part to the bottom so easier to see. And after that, of course you need to use the right mouse to flip it. And we have to use the modify attribute by clicking line 1 and line 2. So of course there will be changing color, and then you can see that you already picked 2 on the right hand bottom. You can see that there is a 2 pick. Then after that you use the middle mouse, click the middle mouse and change the attribute to offset -2. Offset -2 means to say we travel 2 mm across the part, so that we no need to travel all the way, clear the tool, and then we change the step over. And also we need to change the tool location from pass boundary to, I think original is pass or tangent to boundary to become on boundary. Then you offset 2 mm. So mean to say that the tool travel offset 2 mm from the edge, and then he will start to turn direction to another tool path. Let us accept this one, and then we click OK. You can see that the punctuation mark come out again. We need to do a calculation. Yeah, we need to do calculate. You can see that the tool path actually being shortened to the edge 2 mm away, 2 mm away, but there's a problem here. You can see that the tool is very near over here, so that he will hit the part by the time you plunge into the Z1 dimension. So we need to extend this portion out, so that by the time you fit in, and then there is no hitting on the raw material, but before you could start the zigzag tool path. Let us do that. So let us go and edit again. So we no change on this is the screen. By the time you click edit, we need to change the lead in and lead out. So what we do is that we put 25, half of the diameter, because we already have 2 mm over here. So we just put half of the diameter of the cutter, so we put 25. And then at the end, on the other side, because we no need to travel out because it's still roughing, so we put none. And then by the time we put none, then there will be this situation. Then we calculate again. We can see that this portion is being extended, so the tool is coming down very safely. And then we end at the 2 mm edge, so we no need to go over travel again. So we click OK. Cycle time is actually improved, 3.44 minutes. Now that is good. Total is 8.3, but still not good enough. How we gonna about? We output the NC. Let us take a look. The NC show us that the feed rate seems like not steady until block 11. So we have 150 and 100. This is because of the slot cut. Mean to say, I go back to see. This is the slot cut, and blue color is the engage. So we need to change this tool feed rate as the standard tool feed rate, so that we can no need to use the slow down the engagement and slow down the slot cut. So what we're gonna do is that we close this one. We go back, edit again. We change the speed and feed, go to 100% engage, and as well as the slot cut 100%. This will help us to improve the time. Let us see how we're gonna go about, and then we can OK, and then we calculate. Of course, you need to do a calculate. Of course, I skip that. It's much more easier for you to do that. And then we straight away output the NC. You can see that everything is correct now. 250 tool path, roughing speed. Then go to X-2 and 152 all the way to the whole roughing process. So after that, we can close this. Sorry. We can show that this is 2.43 minutes. We will save about 50%. So we close this file, and we want to work on the final facing, because the rough facing already improved quite a lot. So let us switch the screen, height, show and height. So now we have grayed out the roughing. We want to work on the finishing. So it's top facing number 2. So how we going to go about? I speak too fast. So we edit again, and we change the speed to 100%, so that the engagement just now what we did is correct. And also there's an option. What we want to do is that, because this is final cut, we want to do it one direction rather than zigzag, because ultimately the surface has to be flat. So if we do zigzag, there will tendency that the tool wear may cause the part uneven. So we will do one direction, make sure that everything is even. So this is how we're gonna go about. We change this path pattern to one way, and of course we can reduce the height currents, because there's nothing blocked in between. We just clamp at the bottom. So what we do is that we don't want to go all the way to 100. We go to 10. and we want to make sure that we want to go out 2 mm away from the component, the raw material, after the mean that the tool will over travel 2 mm. So clear the 2 mm clear from the workpiece. Oh man, what I'm saying. Sometimes it's too fast. Anyway, so this is how we go about, and then we calculate this, and we can see that the tool path is actually one direction, go up all the way back, and then we go through again on 3 times so that the tool path is correct on 3 locations. So we click OK, and we can see the cycle time is increased a little bit. Oh, sorry, reduced over here, but now total cycle time is 5.87. So that is already improved from the 9 minutes from the start. We want to verify it, so we do a solid verification. This is how it goes. So the tool is clear at the final stage. You can do that simulation in your own speed. So I just put 0.5. Anyway, you can reduce it. So how we go about with the tool path? So we take a look. The tool path is actually correct. So 44 and 220. Then it will go all the way until the finish. So the tool path is everything correct. So 5.87 minutes is the final answer. So we save this file. So the total saving is about 3 minutes plus, I think 4 minutes. So you can calculate it's about 30% improvement. That is a very good result. So we save this file. That is all for my improvement. Let me go through the demonstration screen. So wait for a while. Hello, welcome back. Let us go through the step-by-step demonstration. We open the file here, and then we click open. We can see this file, which is 9 minutes over. We want to output it correctly. So what we do is that we duplicate this profile, right hand click, duplicate. We have this profile, then we need to do a rename. Here we change it to become a final, FINAL. So you just right click anywhere, you already changed that. So the top facing number 2, we want to change this one. We remove this one, and we add it back to a final. Then we say OK. So we can straight away calculate the time still OK. So we already solved this problem for the swapping the final and the rough out profile. What we need to do is that we hide this one, and then we open to show on the top one. What we need to do is that we need to change the profile on this one. So we need to do a edit, and we flip the right mouse to the bottom so that we can see correctly, and we change this one become modify attribute. We select this one click, left click, and then we have another click. So you can see that there is a 2 click done. So I use the right middle mouse. So let us change this one to offset -2, and then this one is on boundary. So accept, and we click OK. So we can flip back if you want to. We have a punctuation mark over here, so we want to do a calculate. So tool path is actually corrected, meaning to say that the tool path is here. We need to change the engagement and the slot cut. So what we do is that we're going to go edit. We change the tool path portion. Okay, this one we have mentioned that we need to change to 25, and this one we change to nothing. So we calculate. So everything seems okay. We click OK. We output. So you can see 3.44 now. So let us output the NC. As I mentioned before just now, in the lesson, so the tool path came in, and then we have different cutting speed because of the engagement and the slot cut. So we need to go back to this top facing. We need to do editing. What we're going to do is that we're going to change the cutting speed. So let us go back to the tool, this one, and we change this one become the engagement become 100. and the slot cut we also do 100. Then after that we OK. So we need to calculate. I think do we need to calculate? I think let's just try. Yeah, better calculate, so we can see that the toolpath is correct. We did that, and then now it's 2.43. We output one more time. Could see that the cutting speed is everything is correct. It's 250 for the roughing. So we finished the 2.43 portion, 2.43 minute portion. Mean to say the roughing. We want to do the finishing now. We want to increase. We want to reduce the cycle time from 4 minutes to reduce to a better result. Change that. We need to add it again one more time. So now we want to do is that we change the speed as well, the cutting speed. So this one we engage to become 100. Slot cut is also 100. Okay. And we also need to show the boundary. Sorry, nothing. Toolpath setting, we want to do one direction. And also the link cut, instead of 100 we go for 10. This is 2 and this is 2. So we do a calculate. You can see that everything seems to be good. So we click OK. So improvement has been done to 3.43 minutes. Let us output the we can verify it first. So let us do the solid verification. So make sure that everything is okay. So you can reduce up to the speed you want. Let us say 0.8 instead of 0.5. You can play. Let us see the cutting, roughing, final, final, and then final. Seems that everything goes smoothly. So let us change. There's a gap of 2 mm after the process. So we can close this one and we can output the NC file. So everything seems very good. So we have this zigzag going on, as well as the final cutting, 250 for this X, 220 for this X as well, and also the last cut. Okay, so this is how we go about, and then we close this file. We save this one to ensure that we have completed the improvement from 9 minutes to 5 plus 8, 7 minutes. Thank you very much for watching. So I hope that this benefit you. See you at the next lesson. Thank you. Bye bye.